Hello, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of you had requested that you would like to see a couple more examples. I'm going to use some of the harder examples so that way you can see how to integrate the signs and the substitution and the order of operations. So let's look at this one. Evaluate the expression of x equals -8 and y equals -1. I'm going to go over to the side here and I'm going to write GEMDAS. As I go through these, I'm going to cross them off to make sure that I understand that I'm doing everything in the order that it needs to be done, and this will become a good habit for you guys to build. So let's look at this one. We're going to evaluate this one if x equals -8 and y equals -1. I'm going to come over here really quickly, and I'm actually going to do this problem wrong, just so that you can see why we substitute in parentheses. The first part, I'm just going to do the top here, and I do 3 open parentheses. Remember that this means, when there's nothing in between, that means multiplication. Okay, x squared. So I'm going to take -8 squared. Notice I did not put parentheses around that. This is wrong. So I'm going to keep going the wrong way to show you. Minus, now y is -1 squared, minus, and then x is -1. Oh, excuse me, x is -8. Okay, now this is why this is wrong. If you notice, remember the exponent only belongs to the base. In this case, this is saying that this is negative. This is saying this, -8 times 8. Now, this is going to give me -64. This is completely and totally wrong because my x value is not 8, the opposite of 8. It is -8, and I'm going to put it in now correctly. So make sure that you do not do this. This is why the parentheses are not optional. They are really, really important. Okay, so 3 times my x, which is -8 squared, plus my y, which is -1 squared, close off my parentheses, minus -8, all over -8 minus -1. Okay, now I'm going to work through. Remember that this fraction bar is a grouping symbol, so you have to do everything on the top separate from the bottom. Don't try and cancel out this guy and this guy. It will not work. You'll get a wrong answer. And the reason that order of operations is so important is because everyone around the world has to be doing math in the same order. So I'm going to go ahead and evaluate the top and the bottom separately. So I'm going to put the top here and the bottom here, and then I'll bring them together before I do anything else. So my top, I'm going to do 3 times, open parentheses. Now I can do these because they're exponents. I'm going to get -8 times -8, which is 64, plus -1 times -1. If you didn't have the parentheses, this one over here would have given us -1 times 1, which is -1. But -1 times -1 is a positive 1. Okay, now here, if I want, I can just turn this into plus a positive as I work through. I just have to see every step that you do. It doesn't mean you have to do one step at a time. It just means I need to see everything that you do. So I'm going to continue on the top with 3 times 65 plus 8. I'm going to come over here and do computation since I'm not using a calculator at home. Gives me 195. So 195 plus 8 gives me 203. This is my top. This is my numerator. And my bottom is -8 minus a -1. So I'm going to add that, and I get that this is -7. So when I bring it together, I get that 203 over -7, or that 7 can go out, the negative can go out in front. Remember, there's no divisibility law for 7, so I always check these on my calculator. 203 divided by 7. Ah, look at that. 7 does go into 203, so it is -29. Okay, let's do another one. Whoop, I passed the problem. Come back. Okay, now I'm going to evaluate this one if A equals 8, B equals 4, and C equals 16. So I'm just going to put these in. So I'm going to open my parentheses, and A is 8, B is 4 squared minus, on my numerator, 16, and 8 minus 4. Now, you might see this exponent and just jam right into, let's raise that to the second power. But if you'll notice, 8 over 4 is an operation I can do. This bar right here means division. We've been using it for division all year. Remember, I tried to get you out of this symbol and into using that for division. So I can operate within the parentheses. 8 divided by 4 is 2, so 2 squared is 4. Now I'm going to come over here, and my 16 is just there. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 minus 4, and look at that. My answer is 0. On these, go very slow. Make sure that you're looking at your GEMDAS each time. Feel free to write this a few times on your paper, or on the corner of your paper, or along the side, so that you remember the order. Remember, this could also go like this, because these two go in order from left to right. I hope that helps you a little bit as you're working through your homework. I know that these problems are challenging. I also know that you guys can do these. So take them slow, work step by step, and feel free to ask me any questions.